Welcome back to GrayWave Diagnostics, everybody. Today, in this video, we are going to be continuing the diagnosis on a PQ controller for a 79 JLG boom lift. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the potentiometer. We're going to be doing some testing on it. We're going to calibrate its neutral position and see if that fixes any issues. And we're also going to be replacing it because I'm pretty sure it's bad. So, let's get to it. Some measurements. I'll put the meter on the screen, and that way you can follow along at home. So I'm going to the two outside terminals, which is the full resistance of the potentiometer. And this is, according to this part number, it's supposed to be a 50k ohm potentiometer. Right now we are measuring 71.6. And I did this earlier, so I'm going to show you something that I found out. Resistance is usually not polarity sensitive. You can usually flip your leads and get exactly the same measurement. But check this out. 94. Now that's varied. It was 101 at one point. So it'd be, some of the measurements I got previously was 74k ohm one direction and then 101k ohm the other direction. So obviously right down there the thing's no good. But we're going to continue on. We're going to do some more measurements. Let's measure from the wiper. So we got 42. Let me make sure that this is alright, so it's in its neutral position according to where the cam is set. And what I'll probably do is I'll just have it here, that way you guys can see me turn it. Okay, so now it's at 50 because I messed with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this and we'll watch how linear the resistance changes. 37, 36, oop. Not too bad at the moment. Looks like there's a dead spot there, but it seems to drop right down. It's really quick. Oh yeah, you can see it just dropping super quick right now. I'm not really turning it any faster. I'm bouncing around a little bit there, and I'm continuing to turn it. I don't know what that was. I don't know what resistance reading that was, but we're at 3 ohms, 2 ohms, 3 ohms, 4 ohms. So it's been bouncing around. Oh yeah, look at that. I go back to that 3 ohms, 2 ohms. If I go extremely slowly, wow. That moves. Oh yeah, look at that now. It's all over the place. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to use this as an example for calibrating its neutral position. So let's center this back up. And we'll go the other direction. We'll just continue as slowly as we can. Try to do it even. It should go up, which it is. It's not horrible. It's not moving up as quickly as the other side. Alright, now it's moving up. Oh, now it just jumped up to 101 and just a little bit of turn there. Go down, so it's 100 right now, 99. Oh yeah, it moves real quick. Just ever so slightly movement of this. Alright. Let's go back to the center. Yeah, let's say somewhere around there. Let's say 50. So if we go from 50 all the way over to 101, so you got about 50 ohms difference there. And we'll go back to center. about 50. Just a little under 50 on that one. So that's not too far off on its center, but it's definitely not linear. It's all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this potentiometer. Obviously it has issues. It's been around for a long time. So we're going to go ahead and replace it. And let me get set up for that, and I'll show you how that's done. I have to spin it off once it reaches its full extension there. There we go. I'll just keep kind of turning it, working it off. There we go. You gotta be careful because the switch, you don't want to damage that. Alright. Alright, let's try to get this nut off. Guy right here. We'll compare them. There they are. Very slimmer, similar. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Okay. They're different brands, but they cross over to the same number. Okay, let's solder this potentiometer back on here. I've already tinned the tips or the contacts. This seems to go right on there. Alright, so I got the board mounted back into the controller. Those screws are a real treat to put back in, I'll tell you that right now. So if you get to do it, have fun. But now that we have it back in the controller, we can zero in this potentiometer, because this handle is spring loaded. So this is exactly where it's going to be. And so regardless of where I put it before, that's where it's going to be. So I'm going to have to loosen up the set screw, and well, potentially, and maybe make a small adjustment to that. We might have gotten lucky and it might just be exactly where we need it. So I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to put the leads on it, take a reading, see where we're at. We're at about 23.7. I'd say that's pretty much right on the nose. That's what I would say. I don't think there's anything else that I gotta do with that. So I think what I'll do, let me see if I can do this without those terminals falling off. So I'll operate this and see how well it does. That's operating very well. I don't know what the max is. Alright, so the max is what, 3K? Or sorry, the lowest is 3K. That's as far as the controller will let it go. But it's very smooth, very linear. Yep, that's working really well. Go right back to center. So now we'll go the other direction. Yep, that's working nice and smooth. What have we got for a max number here? 43. So we should probably bring that down. We got 43 there, 3K, so we got about 40K swing. So we got, let's see, 20K on one side, we got about 20K on the other. So that sounds about right to me. So you got 23 K ohm right now. If we minus that from the 43K that we saw, that'd be about a 20K sweep. And then if you take the 23K minus the 3K at the stop, that's again 20K. So I think we're dead nuts in the center. I think that's just fine. So I'm going to finish putting everything else back together, and that's going to conclude it for this video. To center, well, I guess, you know, the little bonus here, to center it, if we were out of range here, and we did have to do a final calibration, all we would do, yeah, it's just, let's see, are you gonna stay? Let's try this way. So all you would do is loosen up this set screw. You loosen that up. You take your screwdriver. You watch your meter. Wrong one. And then you would just take this and you would just move the potentiometer while holding the cam still. That's all you would do. So now I'm going to bring it back to 23. Let's see, 23 and a half maybe. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then just tighten it up. And after it's tightened up, you don't want to go rank on it because this is plastic. You might strip it out, but 23 and a half, I'd say it's perfect. So the only real issue, if it's just a little out, maybe 1K, you're probably not going to notice a difference. I don't know how far out this has to be in order for one function to actually start having a runaway issue. You probably will, though, however, if it is out of center. Let's say this is for the swing. So if you're swinging left or swinging right, if it's biased to one side out of center, then when you try to swing to that direction, it might be more sensitive initially. You might get this initial bump, like it just wants to take off a little bit instead of gradually getting in. So that's probably one thing you want to keep in mind with centering this, even though it might be out just a tiny bit. And when we get this on the machine, maybe we have to recenter it then too. Not recenter it, but maybe make an adjustment. Maybe one side still wants to take off more than the other, and maybe I can try to compensate a little bit by adjusting that neutral position. So we'll see. So anyways, that concludes this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this helps you out. And I am going to be uploading some more content about this controller and hopefully about the lift. There's a lot more to come. So hopefully I got time to do that. I got a kind of busy life with a new daughter who is now 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks old. little cutie. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave any comments or suggestions or questions, anything down in the comments section, and I'll put part number down in the description section for the potentiometer, and I'll probably put the link on there too. And that is it, and I'll see you in the next video, or at least you'll see me.